Hey, this is Kevin again. This time, bringing you the Ottoman Empire. I don't know why it's taken me this long. I guess I was just intimidated by the size of it. But then again, it's not any smaller than the rest. But anyway, hey, historically, this was the Turkish Empire, right? It started around the 13th century, but lasted all the way into 1917. And it was at one time about half the size of the Roman Empire. So it really dominated. It was a Muslim state, and it really gained its popularity under the reign of Suleiman the Magnificent. That was the peak of its power. So at around the 17th century, it had almost 32 provinces and a ton of vassal states. And of course, with the taking of Constantinople, it really grew. But listen, this is everybody knows a little bit about the Ottomans, and so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail there. But you can see the pictures that I have that are really kind of depicting this particular army, and it's really difficult to build because there's a lot of figures out there, but when you're trying to do Akinji and Azebs and Janissaries and Sifas and those types of things, nobody has like one set range. They don't do the early or the middle, the late. It's really hard to kind of mix and match. So I think you just do the best that you can. Of course, the Ottoman army was very heavy cavalry oriented. I tried my very best to represent, the Ottoman guns and their fortifications that they came to the field with, but and of course I forgot to put out all the stakes that I built. The stakes in front of the war wagons. But anyway, I think that you'll enjoy this army. It's very colorful, and it was done with over a 25-year period of time. 25 years I kind of worked on it and dabbled here and there and built what it is today. Some of it I bought and fixed and repainted. And anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Here comes my comments. Well, I just wanted to, since I'm on the kick of polls, and I already did the Swedes, and I already did the Imperials. The one I didn't do were the Ottomans. Major force in history. Okay, I'll just go ahead and say it now. This is one of my favorite armies. Yeah, I say that every time I make one, don't I? Anyway, this is a massive army. And I have to say there's different periods mixed in here. There's a little bit of early and a little bit of late. And you can morph and mix as much as you want. But it is a very large army and lots of different manufacturers in here. But I want to say predominantly that these are Essex. Yeah, predominantly. I painted these a long time ago. Some I bought and repurposed, and some I picked up that were just like, I couldn't believe that they were for sale, and I bought them. So I've kind of put them all together and painted them, and over 25 years. So yeah, it's great. I really like it, but I thought I would put it up here and let the community just kind of enjoy what I've put together. So let's go ahead and we can start with the commander. This is of course the representative of the Sultan, and yeah, I think it turned out nice. These figures are not Essex. These are from Legio Heroica, the two commander figures. The rest of them are from Essex, and I still think, I'm sorry, the Essex figures look fantastic, especially if they're painted correctly. You see, that's just super nice, right? Or at least I think so. But again, I'm somewhat biased. Anyway, we did the commander. So let's go ahead and start down the battle line. All right, so here we go. I've got just a mix of cannons in here, and sometimes they said they were chained together. Sometimes they said they had wagons, and I think there was probably lots of different things they did. You'll see some late cannons here, and then I've got another row I'm just going to show you in a minute that's like early artillery. But I took a war wagon, morphed it, used other pieces, created some pieces, and created just this, I don't know, like a fortification. I took pieces of things and put them out front as if they had created kind of like a little bit of a Renaissance sandbags. I guess you'd have to call it that. Anyway, I stuck janissaries in there, and I don't know if they actually were the ones that fought in the fortifications. I probably should do my research there. But then again, I don't want to, because then I would have to change it, being OCD. So if you don't learn about something, you're ignorant, and then you don't have to fix it. Anyway, so there's the early cannons, and I like these because these are like swivel doors. Well, I don't want to push them because they'll probably bust, but I'll do a top view. See, that's the old cannons, and I have a unit of janissaries in there with their halberds, and I have just some great azabs and things like that. The commanders are all from Essex, as you can see, and so are the janissaries. So this front row are the janissaries with bow, and I think they really turned out nice. I like them, and you can see. I mean, you don't need figures that are made today or last year. You can use some of the ones that are a little bit older, and if you paint them right, they turn out great. These are janissaries that are a little bit more coming into the 1700s with their muskets. So, of course, they would be put into the front line later, maybe against the Poles or something. But nobody get mad at me for my history. I do the best I can. I try. What I don't know is what I don't know. But I learn. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but 2 days later, I've totally forgotten what I learned. So up front, we have just a massive amount of just like, I guess, azabs and skirmishers and light troops, medium troops, cannon fodder, people that would be sent into the fray. And I didn't paint them poorly. I tried to be colorful with them, and there's all kinds of things mixed in here, and I just use them when I'm playing as cannon fodder. They can really cause a lot of a mess. But there's quite a few of them. A lot of bow troops, etc. So let's go down the side. So these are also Essex figures. This is my right wing or left wing, depending on which way you look at it. Light cavalry screen. I think they turned out great. I tried with the Ottomans to be extremely colorful, and I think I achieved that. So there's the one wing of light cavalry, and here's another commander here for that wing, you see, and I think that's a Corbus belly figure, but everything else is that's a Corbus belly figure too. That's not Essex. Anyway, so then you get into the back line, the cavalry, and here I took a little bit of license of mixing different kinds of Ottomans together. Some with male, some older. I just thought that looked fantastic, just to mix them up, make them look like different kinds of cavalry. There's some that are a little bit later. and a unit of Mamelukes on the right wing. But I think they turned out nicely. And even the flags and stuff, I printed those off and bended them and did what I could. So this is a contingency of Serbia and Hungary and different people that would have fought with them, for them, sometimes willingly and sometimes not so willingly. But I have, of course, the commander, and here's his retinue and more knights in the back line, and of course then some feudal troops that would have moved with them, some Serbian Hungarian light cavalry and some musket and arquebus on the wings. Now, I could bring in bow, crossbow. I've got all that stuff, so it just depends. But they were a part of the marching army, and so I put them out here. So we'll go to the next wing. These are once again another wing of light cavalry, and you can see that they're pretty consistent, different kind of units. So people ask me all the time, how do I base? And I base very simply. I just really don't have the patience to do like super nice basing. I do what's acceptable and throw some tufts in here and there. But I keep my basing fairly consistent. My units are on a 40 millimeter frontage or 80. The cavalry for the Ottomans, I just kept them the way that they are because I just didn't have the stomach to remount them, to be honest. All right, so I paused. Now I'm back again. But this is just like the other flank where I mixed and matched different kinds of figures together to kind of get a particular feel. And once again, over here, I've got 2 units of Mamelukes on the wing. I think they turned out extremely nice. And then in the back line is another group of Mamelukes. And they are kind of a bit of a mix, but I think they turned out very nicely. Very nice shield patterns. These are all hand-painted shields. There are no decals here. Even their barding is hand-painted. But I think that they turned out very nicely, very colorful, and they're a lot of fun to have on the table. So that is the Ottoman army in its detail. This is definitely not, mixed as far as figures, but different eras of painting styles that I see. But I kind of like to keep the styles and don't keep going back and repainting because it reminds me of what I did then or what I purchased then, and I do a lot of touching up, that's for sure, and mixing and matching. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this army. It's large, but I don't think it's any larger than some of the others. But it's nice. It needs an opponent, that's for sure. So if anybody's local and wants to come over and game, I'm in. Thanks for watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I took a lot of artistic license, like the Janissaries might not have all been in uniform colors. They might have been in a lot of different colors, like the cavalry. That's just the way that I did it, but, I probably should have done more research. I probably should paint the Wagenburg, for an example, to make it a little bit more colorful with looking a little bit more Ottoman-esque, so I'll probably do that. But anyway, it's a great army, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Have a good evening.